Hey everyone, welcome back to the homestead. I am Nadine. Today I am out in the greenhouse because I have some plants I need to plant. So a couple videos ago I did an unboxing of my fruit trees. I've got them soaking in some water here in preparation for planting. I also have a couple grape plants down there that I'm going to be planting today as well. So when you get your bare root trees, you're going to want to soak them for an hour or two before you plant them. This helps them absorb some water and it lessens the shock of them having dryish soil around them. Now, I don't know about you guys, but our spring is usually a pretty wet spring, so I don't anticipate our soil being very dry, but it is what the planting instructions say, so that's what I'm doing. And then while those are soaking, I'm going to go ahead and prepare the holes for them out in the orchard area. The one is going to be in its own brand new hole because it's new. The other one is going to be replacing a Gala that unfortunately I lost over the winter to somebody snacking on it. So it's just going to go in the old hole where the old tree was. And then later on this year, I am expecting a peach tree, hopefully between June-ish, July. And I'll be able to plant that and finish off my dwarf fruit tree orchard, which is really exciting.
And also possibly we might have quails this week or next week.
That's right. We are expecting some hatching eggs for quail. Hopefully this week. This week marks 4 weeks out since I ordered them, so I'm crossing my fingers and hoping I get a shipping notification very soon. But for today, we are just going to be planting the trees and the grapes and getting those in the ground. Yeah, so let me show you where we're digging holes, and then we'll start digging. So right outside my greenhouse is my orchard area. This is our Yellow Delicious, our Pink Lady Apple. This one here, like I said, it's like this big. This was the Gala apple, so we're going to be replacing that today. This is my Bartlett pear. This is a Lapin's cherry. And directly behind that, right here, is going to be the Emperor Francis cherry. This is my fruit cocktail, and then the peach is going to go right here, and that'll wrap up my dwarf fruit tree orchard. So we got our holes all prepped. We got one there and one over here. I may need to widen them up just a little bit to fit their root systems. The Gala has a really big root system, so I might need to extend this a little bit. But the cherry, this might do for the cherry. The cherry's root system is a little bit smaller, but I may need to extend it too, but we shall see. For right now, while I'm still waiting for my trees to soak, we're gonna take some of this soil that we pulled out of the hole and mix it with some good compost, because our soil is really it has a lot of clay in it, and we want our trees to have a nice soil to grow in. So I like to mix in a little bit of compost with the soil that comes out of the hole, just to add some nutrients and help loosen up that clay. All right, so now that my backfill is all mixed up with some compost, I'm gonna go ahead and get the 2 grape holes prepped as well, and then we can get everything planted all at once. Holes are now dug for the Gala, the cherry, and the 2 grapes. So let's go ahead and get them planted. We'll start with the 2 trees. They've been soaking the longest, and that'll give the grapes a little bit longer to soak in the water. And then as I plant the trees, I'm going to put the dirt in layers, and that way, you put a little bit of dirt, you pack it down, you put a little dirt, you pack it down, and that way you get rid of any air gaps that are in your soil, and it won't affect your roots of the tree. And then the other thing that you want to think about when you're planting trees, especially dwarf trees, there is a graft union. So a dwarf tree isn't a tree that you would find in nature. It just doesn't happen. Dwarf trees are created in a nursery by selecting a root ball or a network of roots that stays small from another variety of plant or tree, and then grafting the fruit tree onto it. So say you have like your root ball, okay? You're going to make a graft and put on the branch of your fruit tree, and it becomes, when the tree heals from that cut, it's going to graft itself onto this branch, or this branch is going to graft itself onto the root ball, and then that root system is what's going to feed this fruit tree. It's really kind of neat how it all works. But because the root ball or the root system is from a variety of tree or shrub that stays small, your fruit tree is only going to get as big as that root system allows, thus creating your dwarf tree, and your semi-dwarf trees. Dwarf trees don't typically grow bigger than 10 to 14 feet. Usually they stay small, under 10 feet, which makes them really great for the backyard homesteader and the backyard orchard because they stay small. You can also find dwarf trees that are have multiple grafts on them. So like my fruit cocktail tree has 4 different fruit that are grafted onto that root ball, so it should produce peaches, plums, apricots, and nectarines, I believe. Which gives you a whole lot of fruit variety in one tree, which is really, really cool how grafting works. But anyway, before it gets too dark here, because the sun is setting very quickly, let's get these trees in the ground. All right, so here is our Gala, and as you can see, it has a pretty extensive root system here, which is fantastic. Right here, this is what I was talking about. This is your graft union. This is the branch from your root ball, and this is where the Gala was grafted onto this root system. This you want to keep above the ground by 3 or 4 inches. So we're only going to plant it. We don't want it going under the ground more than that. But honestly, I'm probably going to plant it just above the root system here. So, but I think I'm definitely going to have to make this hole a bit bigger because this root system is massive. So I definitely think Yeah, I'm gonna need to make it quite a bit bigger to fit its root system. Alright, so I just finished planting the Emperor Francis cherry. The Gala apple is over here, looking good. So all I have left for the evening is getting the 2 grapes planted, and they should be pretty easy. They're small, so we're going to start with the Reliant Red, and we'll end with the Mars Blue. Alrighty guys, I just finished planting the last grapevine, so that pretty much wraps up my planting for tonight because I'm out of daylight and it's really cold. So I'm going to head in for the night. If you guys have any questions about dwarf trees, grapevines, how to plant them, how to go about having a small orchard in your backyard, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys and I love answering your questions. So go ahead and leave those down in the comments for me. I'm gonna go get warmed up. If you guys like this video, make sure you hit the like button on your way out. And if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. That lets you know when any new videos are up on the channel, and that way you don't miss anything new. If you are already a subscriber, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing this journey with me. I so appreciate each one of you. And yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to grow where you're planted.